Joining today. So we're going to talk about how the market is changing, especially social media and real estate and mortgage. The fact is or the reality is that everything's there. Finally, I can see and hear you. No, I hear you fine. Oscar has an echo. Okay, well, Oscar has an echo. All right, so let's just get through this, and let's hopefully you can hear us here. All right, so the reality is that industries are constantly changing and evolving. Social media is changing. Facebook, all of the platforms that we're using are constantly evolving. And a lot of people just have an attitude, about the constant change that's going on. So I wanted to ask Oscar, Oscar, how do you teach the team there at Mid-America how to keep a good attitude when the industry is evolving like it is? What's some good strategies that people need to take so they can jump on the bandwagon and be a part of the move that's going on in social media and in real estate and mortgage too?
Sure, Robert. Thank you for that question. So a couple of things, really. Number one, I only bring people onto my team that can adapt to change. Because obviously in our time, how we market, it's changing from one month to the next, from days at a time. It depends, there's factors that come into play that people have got to adapt. How do I teach somebody? Kind of show them where they are now, where they can be, and where they can be left behind if they don't adapt.
Awesome. So keeping a good attitude is probably the best thing that you could do at this point, right? Keep a good attitude about it and an open mind, and understand that as everything changes around us, we have to change with it. It's not always easy, but will turn out to be best for our business. So how's Mid-America Mortgage? How's the Horn team there evolving? How are we? Let me preface it by saying this. I'm reading a book right now, and I would recommend everybody get this, called Blue Ocean Strategy. And it talks about how to beat your competition. And I read an article the other day by Sally Hogshead. She's a New York Times best-selling author. She wrote a really great book called Fascinate Your Market, Fascinate Your Audience. She has this quote, and it says, "To be different is better than better." So to be different is better than better. Now, we know it's good to be better. We're always trying to be better at what we're doing. But to be different is how you get out of that red ocean of extreme competition and into the blue ocean, to where you can breathe and expand and create a platform so people will come to you, versus fighting constantly in that bloody ocean of competition. And it's one thing I've noticed about the Horn team, and we're not pitching the Horn team today, we're just using that as an example, because the reason Oscar and I joined the Horn team is because several reasons. Number one is Tom Horn's vision to stand out in the crowd and be different in this marketplace. And we know that Mid-America Company as a whole is very innovative. So what are we teaching our team there at the Horn team in Austin on how to be different versus always trying to just be better than our competition?
Well, that is the first rule. Whether it's in real estate, whether it's in mortgage, you want to always do what the other one is not doing. You don't want to just follow right behind them. Otherwise, you're just like everybody. What makes you different? Nothing. You're doing exactly what they're doing. How are we personally at this branch doing it different? We are engrossing ourselves with technology. We're engrossing ourselves with social media, with video media, more importantly. I think we all understand where it's going, and to be able to be a leader and be on the forefront of that is huge, not only for, for my team, but for our realtor partners.
Looks like Chris, yeah, you're right. It's great stuff. Chris Ellison says, be a sponge, soak up information, never be satisfied, stay hungry, learn quickly from your failures, and never be afraid to try something new. Man,
Chris.
I love that last part. Never be afraid to try something new. We were at Realty Roundup yesterday, and we got to meet hundreds of people, just new agents that I had never met before, and it was such an honor to be able to share our story with them and share what we actually do here at Mid-America Mortgage as far as marketing. And, we were in a sea, if you please, of competition. We were competing with, other mortgage companies. There were title companies there. And if that's ever an example of a red ocean, I guess that would be it. So I feel like we stood out because we provided innovative value. So Oscar, just speak about that. What was the value add that we showed yesterday, and that we have as a marketing company attached to Mid-America Mortgage, per se? So speak on that. So how are we different versus just being the same? And talk about yesterday, what the event was like at Realty Roundup.
Sure. So I just explained how we're different, how we are embracing the social media, how we're embracing the video marketing, but where we were different yesterday, I actually walked around into the crowd. I like to know what my competition is doing. And, I stopped by. They're all my friends. They're all great people, all great companies, but they all had the same thing. They had your swag, and they had a ton of material talking about them. But what do all the realtors do, Robert? They pack it inside of a bag. They get home, and they're going to throw all the material away, and they're going to keep the little bitty goodies. They're going to keep these little things, that kind of stuff. So where we're different is I don't have our loan officers or our office pushing paper in front of somebody. It's about making that connection. It's about meeting that person and connecting with them. I want to learn about you. I want to learn about you. So instead of shoving a piece of paper down going, hey, we've got the best rates. Hey, we can close in 10 days. Hey, we've got in-house processors, which everybody has. Let's just be different and get to know them. It's really that simple. It's that basic.
So it just really boils down to connections. So whatever social platform you're on, or if you're out in public, it's just what you teach so well and what you exemplify so well is how to connect with people. And you did that so great yesterday. Alyssa Klein says, building true rapport. Building true rapport.
Yes.
So,
and Robert, that's where video comes into play, because you can really showcase who you are as an individual, what your interests are, your personality comes across, and you can do that through video. You can't do that with a picture on Facebook. You can't do that with an email or a text message or a flyer that you're going to go drop in neighborhoods. But you can do that with video.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're standing out and being different, is we're adding that value to our realtor partners. And next week, I don't see Carlos on here, but Carlos Cruz from RE/MAX. I'm going to ask him to come on next week and talk about some of the strategies he's using to be different in the marketplace, and how he has joined us and how we're working together to really showcase him. And he's seeing some tremendous results from that. And that's what it's all about when you say is results. We're doing this to build tremendous value, and with the hopes of getting some results from it. And whatever.
Robert, before we jump off, I do want to share just one real life example. Carlos Zorilla, who's a loan officer here in our branch, he joined us from DHI. His background was processing, and he wanted to be a loan officer, and he got licensed, and he joined our team. And the industry out there, they didn't know who he was. And he's teamed up with you and a couple of different real estate agents, and y'all been producing these videos. And do you know that he actually got a call from a competitor who did not know who he was, and says, hey, I've seen your videos, I've seen your productions, I can't do this loan, can I transfer it to you? Well, yeah, of course. Again, the power of video.
The power of video. And we're going to be talking a lot more about that as we do these live broadcasts. These are for you. We want to take what we've learned and what we've ingested, and we want to give it back to our audience. And that's really our passion here, is to teach and train people how to be better marketers and how to grow their business. And so we're super excited to be a part of the Horn team in Austin with Tom Horn. What a great man. What a great example of integrity and how to do business. So thank you, Oscar, for joining today. Thank you for everyone who jumped on the live broadcast. I'll try to get all the kinks worked out. Chris, maybe we can get together sometime in the near future and get this figured out, because this is really a great way to expand our message. All right, everyone. Remember to follow me on social media at Robert Evans74, Robert Evans74, and Oscar's on Facebook. We also have a YouTube channel called Horn Team TV. We've got a lot of good information on there, good stuff on there. So, all right, we hope everybody stays dry.
Shout out to my boy Chris at Skydrone.
Yeah, oh yeah, Chris. That's who I'm talking about here. Chris Ellison with Skydrone ATX. Be looking for some of those badass videos to be coming out soon. It's going to be awesome. All right, thanks everyone for joining. And again, Oscar, I guess I'll see you after a while.
All right.
All right, bye for now, everybody.